All right, and welcome to the final video in our series, the Prima.Law technology series, where we taught you how to set up your own Synology NAS, your network attached storage, which has many server features for your law office. All right, so in the last video, we talked about some apps that would be useful to use, and today we're going to talk about some more, and also we're going to throw in some security features, because honestly, we don't have too much content on additional apps. But let's go to your NAS. Let's go back to the package center, open it up, and let's just take a look here. Now, for future reference, you should be logging into your NAS at least once a week, so you can see stuff. And also, sometimes your apps, like stuff that you have installed, is going to need an update. All right, like look at this. This one just came out. Universal Surge, blah, 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 update. So you just click update, and it'll start to update that app. There's always security and feature fixes that happen there, so there you go. Let's look at all packages though. And let's scroll down to where we stopped in the last video, which is at third-party apps. Okay, now a lot of this stuff honestly has to deal with developers, right? So if you use Docker at all, or if you want to use BitTorrent Sync, which is pretty neat, you can look at these things here. Now actually BitTorrent Sync is something that you can use for Teams as well for file sharing, but honestly if you have if you're a small or mid-sized firm with 1 or 2 locations, you probably don't need that because you're just going to be using the server and you won't need to worry about syncing with BitTorrent technology. But that's what that's for. There's some other things like this DocuWiki, right? Lightweight open source wiki application that can work without a database. So you can build your own Wikipedia if you want to, right? Probably don't need that for a law firm. But if you were going to get creative and say like, hey, I want to create a Wikipedia that everyone can go to and learn stuff about immigration from my firm, great. You've got one way or one option for doing that here. Some of this other stuff is like web hosting stuff. You can use Git server, GitLab. So if you do development and you need revisioning implementation like that, you have that there. Again, more web stuff. Lime Survey, a survey application. Logitech Media Server, so you don't want to share files with your Logitech TV, with your LG TV. Couple other things here, but you know, nothing really that as an attorney you need any specific information on, but it is good to know that there's other stuff in here. You know, podcast generator, I haven't really found that to be something that I've used. Of course, haven't done many podcasts either, so. But look, they've even got you can use a CRM inside of here too. vTiger is a CRM. I speak for it, but it's one that's here. There's other apps you could install like Sugar CRM. It's a local version. Again, for your law firm, not recommended. Use Clio, use Practice Panther, use another law focused solution. All right, but there's other packages there, and just the fact that you should check in once in a while to check for updates, that's important. Now, just in general, when we're talking about security, a lot of the times we're talking about just being aware of what's going on with your NAS. So, one thing you can do when you log in is you can click on the notifications here, and you can see, all right, this was a configuration thing I was playing with. I know that that's okay. Hyper backup, look, all files backup successful on Butterfly. Great, so I know that that's working. 11 hours ago it performed the backup event, and 23 hours ago it performed the USB copy task. So I can see that things are humming along and working and going well. And if I scroll down here, ooh, bad sector was found on disk 1. Now a sector is very tiny, and what it does is it marks it as bad and then it doesn't use it. If you start getting like thousands of bad sectors, then you're going to need to replace a hard drive. But this is where you would go to find out. So I've seen them. I'm going to go ahead and clear all, and that's fine. Also, you know, keep an eye on your resource monitor to see how much of your CPU is being used, how much RAM is being used. If you ever see your CPU going above 50%, you may want to take a look at some of the apps that you're running and just make sure that nothing's misbehaving. If your RAM ever goes, you know, up to 80%, you probably want to look at doing a RAM upgrade, and these NASs will take RAM up to a certain point, so it'd be very useful. The other thing I would say is just keep an eye on, you know, how much free space you have on your drive as well. Let's see the best place to check that. I bet that's going to be under the control panel. Okay, so to find out how your storage is doing, go to the main menu, Storage Manager. That's the app you want to go to, where you can now see an overview. It says his system is healthy and everything's going good. All right. So you want to make sure you have enough free space. Now, what else should you be doing with this? There's one very important step. Well, there's a couple of things, right? When you're configuring external access, if you don't have a static IP, you do have the option of using a dynamic DNS, which just means that through, and you can do it through a bunch of different services. Synology actually offers it for free, and you can come up with your own host name, right? So you could put your law firm name. I wouldn't. I would just put some innocuous, silly name there. Something .synology.me. You can test the connection. They're going to walk you through a few steps like verifying your email address and making sure everything's okay. But what it's going to do is it's going to read your IP address here. And it's going to say, hey, from the outside, whenever anyone types butterfly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever address now has this, it's going to forward it to. So your address will be okay. You can access using a dynamic DNS service. All right. So anyways, yeah, I want to leave. I don't want to enable it yet. But the other thing to be aware of is scroll down to security. All right. There's some really important features that you want going on here. I would say go to firewall. You have the option of enabling this firewall to protect the files on your server if you don't already have an outside firewall that's protecting your network. You can also go to protection here, and on the network interface, LAN 1, which is where the internet's plugged into, you can enable DOS protection. So that's denial of service attacks. So that's where somebody grabs your IP address and they're nefarious with it, right? They start hammering it with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of requests per second, which overwhelm the server, and then it doesn't work because it can't handle your traffic, which is legitimate because it's too busy slapping away the invalid requests that keep flooding it. So that would definitely be something to enable. With accounts, all right. If you want to auto block an account, you would configure that here. So if somebody, and you know, there's malfeasors all over the internet who are searching IP addresses 24/7, and they find one, and when they find it, they try and determine what type of device it is, and they will try and guess your password over and over and over until the sun goes down. Now, if someone is attacking this machine, let's see, 10 times within 5 minutes, so they try to log in and it fails, right? So it's either somebody trying to guess your password, or, to be fair, it might be you trying to log into your server and you can't remember your password. Well, you'll get blocked. Your IP address that you're trying to connect from will get blocked if you do that. So, like I said, write down your password and your login. Make sure it's exact. Make sure it's something that you are able to repeat 1,000 times without a problem. If you think you might end up being victim to that yourself, click Enable Block Expiration, and you can say, all right, after 1 day, you can unblock the expiration. But then if somebody's been hammering your machine, they can try again tomorrow and keep doing it again. So from here, you can actually see the allow or block list, and you can create a whitelist, right? So here's the allow list. You can say, all right, everyone from this single host, from this IP address, is always allowed to log in. They'll never get blocked. And that's okay. Well, close that. And if you, well, and once people start automatically getting blocked, you'll see this list start to fill up with people here. So I'm going to close that for now. All right, the other thing you can do is you can install a security certificate on your server. Now, the Synology comes with one by default. If you want, you can add another one, and let's see if they made it. Let's just add a certificate, add a new one, next. Description, new one. Get a certificate from Let's Encrypt. This is what I recommend because it's easy and it's free and it will update itself as well. Okay, so you go through the steps here and do all that. I'm not going to do it now. But you can, and probably that's something you might want someone who has a little more expertise help you install a security certificate. But be it as it may, Synology, it comes with one from Synology, which will work to encrypt your data. All right, so those are some security features that we needed to go over because it's important. All right, we've learned a lot in this series. I hope you found it enjoyable and useful and something you're going to share with your friends because it really is a topic that is super duper duper important. I know that there are plenty of attorneys out there who are, you know, they're not technology experts, and it's hard. I mean, you got to spend time, you got to dedicate time and resources to learning about technology just to protect your data. I tried to sort of simplify that for you here, pass along some of the knowledge I've gained over the years as an attorney running my own firm and learning from some of the mistakes and some of the successes as well. So, as always, this video is brought to you by Prima.Law. Now, back a few years ago, we decided that we needed to run our practice more efficiently, part of the technology deal, right? And so we were looking for a system that would help us autofill the forms and help us manage our cases. We started using Clio because Clio was it was the case management software I liked the most, and it was most modern and friendly, easy to use. And we were looking for software that would work with Clio to help us manage the forms and some of the other immigration-specific features. Couldn't find it, so we said, you know what? Well, let's just build the darn thing. How hard can it be, right? Well, we built it, and we're sharing it with everyone now. So you can get a free 15-day trial at www.primafashinow.com. We want you to try and be comfortable with it and enjoy it before you make the commitment to subscribe, which is awesome. We have support staff on hand, sales staff on hand that would love to help walk you through, show you the basics, get you started, get you set up with your free account. So please contact us at www.primafashinow.com. And yeah, again, thanks for joining us. Hope you've learned something. Have a great day.